In heavenly faith echoes. Chapter 5. The banquet where shadows feast no more. The city has descended, not as a distant dream seen through clouds. It rests now, solid, blazing, alive. Its foundations kissing the healed earth where the garden once bled. The gates stand wide. Pearls that once were formed in suffering now gleam like moons captured in oyster hearts. And from within, the scent of the feast drifts outward. Roasted lamb spiced with myrrh, bread still warm. From ovens that know no fire of judgment, wine pressed from grapes that grew on vines watered by resurrection dawn. Eliana steps through first. The threshold is not stone, it is light made tangible. Soft as breath, firm as promise. She crosses, and the moment her foot touches the golden street, every scar on her body begins to fade. Every mark the soldiers left, every line grief carved, begins to fade. Not erased, but transformed. Each one becomes a vein of living gold, pulsing with stories that no longer wound but testify. Simon follows. His shoulders, once bowed under decades of shame, straighten. The tremor in his hands vanishes. He looks at his palms and laughs, a sound so free it startles even him. Behind them pour the redeemed, the woman who prayed through prison bars, the boy whose mother waited across realms, the soldier who laid down his rifle in his final heartbeat. Adam and Eve walk hand in hand, faces radiant, no longer bearing the shadow of the first exile. The street opens into the great square, at its heart, the table. Not a table as earth knows tables. It stretches horizon to horizon, endless yet intimate. Every seat bears a name etched in fire that does not burn. Names from every century, every tribe, every tongue. Chairs carved from trees that once stood in Eden, now alive again, leaves budding even as they form the backs. And at the head, the Lamb. Not slain now, standing, alive forevermore. The scars glow like constellations. His robe is white, whiter than snow on untrodden peaks, yet threaded with crimson from the hem where blood once flowed. He does not sit yet, he waits. As the last soul crosses the threshold, the gates close, not with clang, but with the soft sigh of completion. Silence falls. Then he speaks. Beloved, come. One word. Yet it contains every invitation ever refused, every door ever slammed, every heart ever hardened, now melted, now open. They come. Eliana finds her place near the center, not by merit, but by grace that chose her name before time learned to count. Simon sits beside her. Her mother appears, young, laughing, eyes bright as the day she first held her daughter. Her little brother runs forward, whole, leaping into Eliana's arms with the same reckless joy he had at 6. They cling, they weep, they laugh until tears become light. Around the table, reunions ripple like waves. A father embraces the son he lost to war. A mother lifts the daughter disease stole in infancy. Strangers who once prayed for one another across oceans now clasp hands, recognizing voices they only knew through intercession. And then, the food. The lamb lifts a loaf, simple, unbroken. He breaks it. The sound echoes like creation's first dawn. Pieces multiply, endless, warm, fragrant. He passes them. Each one who receives tastes not just bread, but memory redeemed. The Last Supper shared in secret house churches, the crumbs gathered in concentration camp barracks. The quiet meals where a single believer thanked God amid famine. Next, the cup. He pours wine, deep red, living, swirling with inner fire. To the new covenant and sealed not in the blood of bulls and goats, but in mine. They drink. And with the first sip, every thirst ever known is quenched. Thirst for justice, for belonging, for meaning, for love that never leaves. Eliana drinks and tastes forgiveness so complete, it rewrites every accusation she ever leveled against herself. Simon drinks, and the bitterness of wasted years becomes sweetness that lingers forever. The table becomes symphony. Laughter rises like incense. Stories spill, told not in shame, but in triumph. Songs begin, ancient ones reborn, new ones birthed in the moment. The Lamb moves among them, not distant, not formal. He stops at each place, touches each shoulder, whispers each name. To Eliana. You kept the faith when the sky seemed empty. Your tears watered this city. To Simon, you prayed when you could no longer believe. I carried the prayer when your voice failed. To a nameless martyr burned at the stake, your ashes became the mortar of these walls. To a child who died believing you never tasted death, only the first breath of forever. He reaches the head again, lifts his hands, the scars blaze, and the entire city responds, light pouring from every gate, every tower, every street, converging on the table, in a crown of glory that circles him. Then he sits, and the feast truly begins. No one eats in haste, no one hungers again, no one fears the end of the meal, because there is no end. Hours pass, or perhaps centuries. Time here bends to joy, not clocks. And still the table stretches. Still the food renews, still the wine flows. In the quiet between songs, Eliana leans toward the lamb. Is this all? He smiles, the smile that once said, "It is finished." This is only the supper. The marriage of the lamb to his bride is yet to be consummated. The city will shine brighter. The nations will walk by its light, and the leaves of the tree will heal what earth could never heal. He places a hand over her heart. But tonight, rest, rejoice, remember, you are home. She looks around, at faces she knows and faces she will know forever. At her family, whole, at her king near, and for the first time since the soldiers came, she knows peace that has no opposite. The echoes now are not of longing, they are of belonging, of completion, of love that has won, utterly, eternally. If the table just pulled at something deep inside you, if the taste of bread and wine you've never eaten is already on your tongue, if home just whispered your name louder than any wound ever screamed, then, like this video, let the feast echo across screens and souls. Subscribe to Heavenly Faith Echoes. The marriage supper draws nearer with every heartbeat, and your invitation burns brighter still. Comment one word below. Home. If you feel the pull of the place prepared just for you, the gates remain open. The seat remains yours. To be continued. Say Chapter 6, when you're ready to witness the marriage that remakes everything. What say you, beloved?